Fantastic Friday morning to you wherever you are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today. Today is Friday, the 25th of April, 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen. Always wonderful to keep you company early in the morning. And as always, thank you for waking up early to keep us company as well. As I keep telling you, morning has indeed broken, and it's like the first morning. Sunshine indeed. And so I want to wish you a lovely today and a great weekend. For those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, good morning. Interact with yourselves, but also interact with us. Your questions, your comments always inspire us. So always feel free to do so. And to all of you everywhere, wherever you are, good morning indeed. Thank you for coming by. Remember, share the show. Wherever you are, also click it, share it with someone, tell them about us, bring them along to have some fun and engage in the information shared as well. If you know of something, someone, somehow, just send us an email. Let's share that too with the others who are watching. So send us an email, bring us in the loop, send us the email at morninbarbados@cbc.bb, morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we thank you for partnering with us as we continue every day to strive to bring you the best entertainment, the best show, and the best information as well. Easy D is already on our YouTube stream. He's saying good morning to me and to the family as well, and to all of you, and to you too, Easy D, we say good morning. Thank you so much for waking up bright and early. Vereen Walker, good morning to you. She's saying good morning to the crew here with me in the morning on Morning Barbados, and to all of you, thank you as well for engaging. Rhonda Hines-Graham, I call her Sweet Rons because she's just sweet, a little short sweetie. So good morning to Rhonda Hines-Graham. Have yourself a terrific today. She's wishing a fantastic Friday to all of you wherever you are, and we join with her in expressing the very same sentiments. Where's Patricia Ben? Patricia, you're always one of the very first to reach out to say good morning. I hope you're well. We wish you a wonderful weekend as well. Promise you today, it's Friday, so I have a riddle for you. Yeah, man. Time for you to wake up and get... I can see already Darius smiling because she's waiting for this opportunity as well. Time for you to get ready to call me now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Maskless. Good morning. Love from England sending. Thank you so much, Maskless. We send love from Barbados back to you indeed, along with our ounces of sunshine. So, get ready. Ready for today's riddle? That riddle so far is, what is there one of in every corner and two in every room? What is there one of in every corner and two in every room? Simple, Simon, just like that. You call me and you let me know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Figure this one out. It is so simple. It is so simple. And it's as obvious as you see it. Don't try to complicate it, because when you do, you're going to run into trouble. So call me now, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let me know, what is there one of in every corner and two of in every room? Let me know. Now, coming up today, as you know, Monday upcoming is the general elections in Trinidad and Tobago. And so we want to hear, how are they faring out? What's happening in the last lap towards the general election poll? Darius Polo will join us in just a little while from Trinidad and Tobago. She's been on the political beat for Guardian Media Limited. She is a senior reporter there, and so we want to hear from her. The campaigns, how they're gearing up for that last minute push to the polls. We can't wait to hear about that. The Royal Society of Chemistry will join us as well, as they intend to educate us, and particularly young people, about the chemistry between water and fire. There is a chemistry. They have a spectacular demonstration as well. I can't wait to share that with you. There's an activity coming up very soon, and so we will use the opportunity this morning with them to share with you when, where, how, and who can come and engage with this as well. Now, there's a fun day planned for this weekend for the family. We will also give you details to that. Rachel Agard, who works with us, she is a Trinidadian, but she too has some perspective on what's happening in the general elections upcoming, so we can't wait to talk to her about that as well. I love it when you all interrupt me. Good morning. Hello.
Morning.
Hi, how are you? I beg your pardon?
I'm fine. I'm well.
Oh, you know what I tell you? You're doing well. Keep it positive always, and positive shall attend you. So...
This is Monica.
I know it's you, Monica. So you've been having a good week thus far, Monica?
Yes, please.
Are you looking forward to a wonderful weekend, Monica?
Yes, so true.
Are you ready for me to tell you you're wrong, Monica?
To tell me I am right, Pearson.
Okay, that's what you're looking forward to. Well, I'm looking forward to the opposite. So, Monica, answer me. What is there one of in every corner and two of in every room?
One O in every corner and two O's in every room.
You have an O. Do you have an O in your corner and two O's in your room?
That is the question, the answer.
No. But I asked you a question.
Yeah, we got two O's in my room. R-O-O-N. Awa in my corner.
You can't spell that word, no. You can spell room for me, but you can't spell corner. Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica. What shall I do with you? What should I say?
I am correct.
I should?
Yes, please.
You can't make me say what I don't want to say, Monica.
But I'm telling you what to say.
All right, Monica, you're right.
Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
You have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you so much for trying, indeed.
Yes,
So Monica's
bye-bye.
right. There's only one O in corner and two O's in room, and it's as simple as that. But I have one for Doris. You better believe it. Well, perhaps you've not yet heard of Business Barbados. One of the attorneys attached will join us as we take a look at copyright and why you should protect your property as well, and how you go about doing so, what you perhaps see as some challenges, and how easy it is perhaps to surmount those challenges. And St. Joseph is preparing to pass the baton on to St. John. We'll take a look back at what happened last weekend as we look forward to what else they have planned until they come to the very finish on the 30th of April. So, a lot to get to, and so I can't wait to reach across the seas and head over to our sisters and brothers and Dairies. Good morning. Oh, there you are, Patricia Ben. There you are. All right. Good to see you, Patricia. Good to know you're alive and you're doing well. Thank you for locking in and sending your good mornings to all of us. Now, let's go over to Trinidad and Tobago. That's where general elections are happening on the 28th of April, which is this coming Monday. A lot's been happening. Darius Polo, who has been on the beat in politics for Guardian Media Limited, joins me now. Darius, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am, gearing up for a long night on Monday.
I'm sure you are. My first question to you, Darius, is what is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun?
Stronger than steel?
Look at your face.
My God.
What is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun?
I'm just going to say my determination to wake up and be on this show today.
Stop it. No, that's too long an answer. That's too long an answer. Nope, that's not it.
I have no idea.
Well, I know you'll keep watching the show, so you'll see the answer is coming up really, really soon.
Of course.
Let's talk politics now. We're in the last few days to the general election. Campaigns, no doubt, are heating up. And so what are the final messages you see or hear coming from both the major parties in Trinidad?
Yeah, at this time, the opposition is really trying to convince its supporters, and lately their campaign really targeting young people in terms of the messaging, in terms of, getting a lot of endorsements from artists, local artists, people who are in the community singing soca music, and actually that plays a very big part in our elections and the campaign songs. They're usually very unforgettable. And this time around is no different. So from the opposition side, they're telling the general population and especially young people, look, the government was in office for the last 9 years. This year should be 10. And they've not really done much for you, but we are promising to give you sustainable jobs. We are promising to make life a bit easier, remove a lot of taxes, the 7% online tax, reduce corporation tax, increase the fuel subsidy, promising to make life a little easier for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Whereas the People's National Movement, the current government, is asking people to give them another chance, an extension of their mandate to finish what they started in terms of negotiating for the economic well-being of Trinidad and Tobago, the future of our country, of course. The last time we spoke about the revocation of the OFAC licenses. I think I mentioned, I would have mentioned that, and the Sandals project and things of that nature. So it's really chalk and cheese in terms of the messaging, yeah? One side is saying, they didn't do anything for you. Come over to our side, and let's make things easier. Whereas the People's National Movement is saying, on the contrary, a lot of those promises are going to be difficult to meet. It's going to cost at least $18 billion in additional expenditure, and you require a government that is going to be fiscally responsible. And Prime Minister Stuart Young is asking for that opportunity and chance to do that.
Can you assess, based on the crowd response to the different platforms around the country, the general response by Trinidadians to what each campaign is saying?
So I have to tell you, in my decade plus of covering news in Trinidad and Tobago as well as elections. This one is so very close. Now, elections can be close in Trinidad, yeah. The government only being with 22 to the UNC's 19 seats to make up the 41 parliamentary seats. But this time around, it's so close to call. In fact, we had a poll commissioned by political scientist Professor Hamid Ghani. He would have found that in the 11 marginal seats out of our 41, the UNC has a slight edge over the People's National Movement, whereas the PNM has an edge in Tobago. Now, the UNC does not traditionally submit candidates for Tobago, and so they're only contesting 39 seats. They tend to form a coalition when they are unseating the PNM. But on the ground, what you're seeing a lot of is yellow is the code. It's a UNC slogan. A lot of young people are saying, vote them out, yellow is the code. Now, that could really just be a trend. It does not reflect who will actually get up on Monday morning and go to the polls. And then on the other hand, we have people saying red is the word. A lot of political commentary, sometimes on apolitical social media posts. They'll say something politics. It could be something positive. They'll say something politics. It's all about politics right now in the country. But it's very difficult because artificial intelligence.
Yes.
We are seeing that more than ever in this election. A lot of bots, a lot of fake social media pages, a lot of people making comments and sharing fake news masked as real information. And so it's so difficult to tell what's happening on the ground because people either are telling you, well, you know, I haven't decided yet. I'm keeping my cards close to my chest, or it's reflective of elections past. And so it's so close. It's very close. It's too close to call.
Almost sitting on the edge of one's seat. Getting out the vote of the young people. What are the campaigns doing to excite young people on their platforms?
I think the UNC, in my opinion, appears to have an edge in that regard. And I would say it's because on the political platform, you're seeing endorsements from people like soca artist Neil Iwer George, known as the Water Lord. One of their candidates is a former singer as well, Macamillion. He is targeting a seat in South Trinidad, and he has friends who have been endorsing the political leader. In fact, the difference this time around, with social media, we're seeing a lot of influencers, people on TikTok that have amassed thousands and thousands of followers. And what the UNC has done is tapped into these people. The PNM is accusing them of paying them a lot of money to endorse them. So they have a lot of social media posts saying, you know, yellow is the code. They're taking newspaper clips and they're saying this is the reason why we believe you, my followers, should also support the United National Congress. The People's National Movement is taking a different approach. They're saying, look, we are the government that initially made school education free. We are the government that have and programs like MyLat, like CCC, which target young people, give them an opportunity to do a trade, to learn a skill. And they're saying, we are going to reintroduce some of these things. So it's a bit different because from the UNC side, it's more of a hype. It's more music. It's something, it's like a movement. Whereas in the PNM, they are asking people to really take a look at their track record. So it's not as aggressive, but of course in the 2010 general election, the UNC took a very similar approach, urging young people, their campaign slogan at that time was to do so, which was to show up and not vote. That became an entire scandal. It may be for further discussion at another time. But at that time, that was their campaign. They targeted young people and they in fact won that election.
Interesting. So that perhaps portends for what could happen on Monday as well. I've seen, because I've been monitoring what's been happening at your media and your company, Guardian Media, the Prime Minister doing the media tour. He sat in with Slam's host and he fielded questions. Is that something he's doing wildly across the media in Trinidad, or is it a desperate almost attempt to be able to engage with young people?
Yeah, lately, I mean, of course, as I just mentioned, from the UNC side, we having a lot of endorsements from influencers, people that could target the urban youth. Now we are seeing a similar but yet different approach from Prime Minister Young. So what he's doing is he's appearing on a series of programs, whether it be on radio with Slam 100.5, Guardian Media's very own. He spoke with Blaze, and he also would have spoken with Miles while he was on that platform to just sort of look at what is taking their manifesto, the PNM manifesto is saying, and address the promises that he's making on the campaign trail. But he's also being interviewed. There's an interview style that he's taking as well, where he has young people asking him, like, let's say, firing off 10 questions at him. The most random thing, like, do you prefer doubles or aloo pie? Do you prefer bacon shack or pilau? And it's really, he is trying to give people a greater sense of who he is, because you know the politician, but you may not know the man. And so he's trying to appeal to people by becoming a bit more personable. He's making a bit more jokes. He's laughing a bit more. And so you're really seeing an attempt to soften the appearance of the prime minister through this very media rounds that you're talking about. So it wasn't just us, but he's going allowing the influencers as well. But they have a different target audience. People like they watch Daniel Loveless, who goes across the Caribbean and asks people questions. We don't see that similar style from the opposition. They tend to just have the influencers post, whether it be negative things about the PNM or positive things about the UNC. Whereas questions, he's fielding questions. He's definitely answering them. One of them, when they asked if it was if he would choose Donald Trump or Nicolas Maduro, he walked away from that question. He didn't answer it. So yeah, but he's there. He's present, and he's definitely fielding questions and trying to be more relatable.
Yes. Do you think he's been able to get himself out of the shadow of Rowley so that he can be himself and be known as competent enough as the individual Stuart Young to be able to lead Trinidad and Tobago?
I think that will be decided on Monday. And I say that because Prime Minister Young didn't have a lot of time to get acquainted with the population as a prime minister. He was sworn in today. He called the election tomorrow, and the election was just 5 weeks, 6 weeks away, and at best. So what we have now is a last-ditch effort. He's not taking the stage and saying, "Oh, I'm going to distance myself from his predecessor, then Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley." What he's saying is, I am in charge now, and I intend to do things my way, and I want you to believe in me. He even went on a political platform in St. James where he was targeting women. He was speaking about gender-based violence in Trinidad and Tobago and the mechanisms that he intends to put in place to address that. And that is actually a very serious issue. He spoke about the education curriculum extensively. He wants to reform it and get away from the colonial past. And that's something even CARICOM has discussed as well. And so he really is trying to set himself aside. Has he been able to do that effectively? Only the election results will tell us.
I want to look at crime and safety in general, because that is an issue, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but across the Caribbean as well, but specifically in Trinidad, because you've just come out of a state of emergency. Has that risen its ugly head in the campaign? And if so, in what way?
Crime will always. And you see, Mr. Young has been in so many different portfolios that he was once this country's national security minister. And so even though he's new to the prime ministerial ship, he is in a position where he can be attacked for his policies as national security minister and what he was able to effectively do. Now, crime remains a challenge, and the UNC campaign usually says, under a UNC government, we have been more effective over the years. The records and the numbers show in reducing crime. Now, that may be true, but we also have to look at the evidence which suggests that as time goes by, people have greater access to ammunition and weaponry that is not like what they had access to in the past, where mass shootings are becoming a greater phenomenon here in Trinidad and Tobago, some resulting in mass killings. So crime has definitely reared its head, and as we go up further into the election, we've had some murders. A 15-year-old teenager, autistic teenager in Barrackport, Trinidad, she was killed just last week. her body was found, and the prime minister had to address that. A young man was shot outside of the Piaco International Airport. I mean, he described that incident as horrific. We also had a murder of a nurse last week as well, on Thursday. She and her husband, according to the reports, they stopped at the side of the road. He wanted to relieve himself at the side of the road on their journey, and the bandits would have abducted her, and then she was found dead a short distance away. Now, so he had to address those issues on Slam 100.5 because crime is a major talking topic, and it's a decider in who people feel could better manage the country. In fact, one of the UNC candidates is a former policeman who has been rumored to potentially be the next national security minister if the UNC wins office. And so it definitely is playing a very critical role because now people are trying to decide who they think will be best at reducing crime. And it's a problem for the PNM, and it's a problem for Prime Minister Young.
Darius, I could talk to you forever, but I know you have a lot to do. We also have a lot to do. Monday coming is Elections Day in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a public holiday for us. It's National Heroes Day. But Wednesday, the day after, I hope you get enough sleep that we can contact you to talk up what were the results and how you felt about it and what you saw happening as well. Is that fair?
Most definitely, I'll have a lot to say. I'll have a lot to talk, I'm sure.
We'll have a lot of time for you, Darius. Darius Polo, senior reporter with Guardian Media Limited. She is on the politics beat. And what a resounding response we got from her to our questions indeed. She's really on top of the ball. Can't wait to follow up with her following the elections. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Special. We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scald is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scald, a look into the future.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 28 minutes now after 6 o'clock, and I'll caution you right up front, don't try this at home. The Royal Society of Chemistry in Barbados are engaged upon an exciting opportunity for young people and all of us adults as well to understand more about the chemistry of water and fire. And so joining me this morning as we take a look at what's possible is Dr. Claire Durant. She is just a member of the Royal Society of Chemistry, but most of all, she's also the Deputy CEO of the BADMC. Good morning to you, Dr. Claire.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you. And Dr. Joanne Simmons-Doyle. That one. Simmons-Boyle. Boyce. Is the Senior Lab Tech at the University of the West Indies. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
All right. So, you have brought a demonstration to share with us because oftentimes, as little children do, we get curious about fire. Yes. We get excited about fire, as a matter of fact. Yes. And so there are some things that we need to be careful about. And so you're going to engage with us now on a demonstration of what's possible and what we should avoid. So where do we start?
Okay. Well, the whole idea between chemistry of water and fire is to have an hands-on and really exciting demonstration. All of us are familiar with fireworks and the really exciting and beautiful colors. So what we have done here today is we have whittled it down and we have different chemical compounds which make the different colors in the fireworks, and we are going to show you here today which chemical compound makes those individual colors in the fireworks.
And these are liquids I see here. These are chemical compounds that I could find in any store, anywhere, at any time?
Not all of them.
Just making sure.
Not all of them. The most common one that everybody would know would be salt, because everybody has salt at home, I'm sure. That's sodium chloride. But we also have calcium chloride. So there are a variety of chlorides. However, it's the metal part of that salt that causes the color when you burn it.
So if you think about something like sodium chloride, which is regular table salt, the metal part is sodium, right? And the other part is chloride. So it's the metal part, which is the sodium, that gives the color.
Okay.
Right.
Demonstration number one. Which one is it are you going to start with?
Calcium chloride.
Right. Okay. So a little bit of playing. And we have our, we were talking just off screen about remembering the acronym PASS, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So we should be safe. We should be all fine.
Yes,
we understand
that's
that. So what are you doing?
Right.
You're igniting? Oh,
yes, just igniting the
that
torch.
little spark.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
If it's blue, it's hot.
That's right.
Okay, so here we go.
So we have a loop, and This is the calcium chloride, which we have dissolved here, right? And what I'm just going to show you how we do it.
What color should I get?
Right? Just look here now.
So calcium should give you that orange, orange color.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I see on my stove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. That's
Right.
that's the color.
So when calcium interacts with flame, it should give you that color.
Yes.
So we need to be very clear about that.
Yes.
Right.
When calcium gives that color, is there a particular retardant of the flame that I should use? Or you can't
No,
answer that?
well, what we are saying is what we have here from Carib Supply, extinguisher which is carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide will be able to put out that type of flame.
Okay.
There are other types of fire extinguishers like foam, fire extinguishers and powder fire extinguishers, which would put out different types of types of flame.
But this one is universal almost?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
fine.
And the most popular one that you would see people will have in their
Yeah,
homes.
we have lots in our office
Yes,
as well.
yes, yes, yes.
All right. So the other one, the next compound is?
The next compound is lithium.
Lithium.
So there's lithium chloride.
That's in batteries.
Yes, that's correct.
And this gives a similar type of red,
Yeah.
orange.
Okay.
So when it turns yellow, obviously we've pretty much burned off all of the lithium.
Oh, I got you. So if it starts shocking red, orangish, it's good.
Yes,
but once
the
it goes
initial
yellow,
color, yes,
there
all
we
the
go.
lithium
It's
has
almost
burned
consumed.
off.
Okay, good. And the third one,
That's strontium.
Strontium.
what is that?
So that also gives the right color initially when you burn it.
Right.
But once it goes yellow, we know it's almost
Yes,
consumed.
it's all burnt. The liquid is all burned off.
Okay, okay.
So
Hint,
just
hint.
think about all of the beautiful firework colors that you would normally see when you light something.
And that's what they
Okay?
use.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Different metal salts. This one is sodium, so the color is a nice yellow flame.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You see, and that's the magic about flames that we tend to have, Oh, it's beautiful, so let it burn. But there's a danger involved, so we need to be very, very careful.
Yeah, that is correct.
And the last one is copper chloride.
Go ahead.
And copper, when you burn it, gives that beautiful blue-green
so
color.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I could be playing with those.
Yes.
But they're dangerous, folks. Don't let the
Yes.
children do this at home. I know they're scientific in mind, but they need to be very, very careful.
Right.
And so these things can happen, and this is part of what you'll be doing at the event upcoming.
Yes. So the whole idea of the event is to bring chemistry in a really fun and interactive way for children and teenagers. So we will have these experiments. We will also have other things talking about how fire interacts with different types of materials, like different types of board. You have fire retardant board, you have plywood, you have the regular board, and we will be doing it at the Arch Hall Fire Station under the guidance of the fire service.
Got that right.
And they will be showing us, and students will get the opportunity to participate. Carib Supply will be supplying all of the different fire extinguishers, and we will be lighting different materials, including things like gas, because we know that persons' houses have, exploded because of or burnt because of different interactions of different types of materials with fire, and we will be having all of that in a very practical way.
You brought 2 plastic bottles here.
Right.
Is there a reason why they're on the table?
Right, okay. So every day we go out, we see clouds. And we say, oh, clouds are there, but we know that clouds are made out of water.
Yes.
Right? But how do clouds form in the sky? We know that water vapor is in the sky, and it has to condense on some material, some dust, a little material in the sky, so that you can see that like puffy area, right? And we see clouds when it is low pressure. When you listen to the weather report, you will hear the officer say, we have a band of high pressure or we have a band of low pressure. But when we have a band of high pressure, you are not seeing the cloud.
Oh, a clear sky is high pressure.
Yeah.
And a cloudy sky often is because there's low pressure.
It's low pressure.
Hurricane season reminds us of that.
Right,
yes.
okay. So what we're going to do...
So water...
Yes, so we have water...
Evaporates.
Yes. So we
mixed
have,
with some mud in the sky.
No, mud with dust. There's dust, there's dust up in the sky. There's dust up in the sky, and that allows water vapor to the water vapor to condense.
Why are you doing what you're doing?
Right, so what I have the bottle and I have a little bit of water in here and a little bit of alcohol, which is pretending to be the dust. So that is allowing the water vapor to condense. So as I squeeze the bottle, I am reducing the volume in the bottle and increasing the pressure. Right? So if you look at it here, you know, it's still all clear. It's still all clear. Okay?
Yes.
So when I let it go, I don't know
Yes,
if you can see.
yes, I can see. Yes, I can see.
So now we make the low pressure. Now the cloud has appeared right there in the bottle.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is what happens basically in the sky. Yeah, that's what's happening in the sky.
And the same thing happens in this bottle?
Yes, the same thing. You want to try?
You want to try?
But you push this thing in.
Yeah, so you hold it. You
just
strong.
twist.
You hold it and you
just twist.
Yes, twist it
and twist.
Twist it.
I am making cloud, everybody.
Twist it right down and make it, you know, twist it right down. Twist it. Right.
You have on gloves.
And then you, twist it.
Come on, man.
Twist it.
Look at my cloud. I have big cloud.
There you go.
I have big cloud.
Yes.
Can you see this? I'm a scientist. There you go. That's beautiful. And these are things that we can experience ourselves at that event.
Yes, that's right. That's correct. That's
I feel
correct.
so powerful right now, you don't imagine. But we're going to take a break and we'll continue talking about this in just a moment. We're coming right back in a bit.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Trust me, but harder in no, how do I continue to tell their story without, you know, making it about me?
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solaray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
17 now to go to 7 o'clock, and boy, do I feel so powerful already indeed. And I'm sure when you go to this opportunity, this showcase, and much more than a showcase, really, it's an interaction on this weekend, I believe it is.
On the 3rd of May.
Oh, the 3rd of May. Time is going so quickly. That's next weekend.
Yeah, next
weekend. Well, Dr. Claire, as you can tell, is still with me. Dr. Joanne is still with me. But they're brought along from Safety Supply, Mr. Peter Howard. Peter, good morning. Carib Supply. Sorry about that, sir. Good morning to you indeed. And Fire Officer Renico Hart from the Barbados Fire Service. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And so May the 3rd is when this happens.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for us to engage with chemistry.
Yes.
Not just fire, but with so many other chemical compounds and understand those compounds as well. You said to me it's going to be at the Arch Hall Fire Station.
That's correct. We under the patronage of the Barbados Fire Service, because we know that they are all the experts in the fires and outing fires and how we can control fires. It will be at the Arch Hall Fire Station from 10 a.m. until 12:30, and we will be having even more spectacular displays of fire and how fire can be controlled and what is used to out fires using practical activities under the guidance of the fire service and fire officer.
Just 2.5 hours?
Yes, just 2.5 hours. It's going to be so much excitement and so much adrenaline. That's all we can take.
That's all we can take.
Yeah, that's all we can take.
And so, Fire Officer Hart, you're going to be there. Your officers are also going to be there to monitor this. There's some things that we don't quite get right or understand when it comes to managing fires. First of all, we're going to run and scream. Ladies, y'all know y'all will do that. Run and scream, and then run back in trying to save this or run back in trying to save that. So when it comes to keeping oneself safe or protecting one's property when it comes to fire, what are some of the things we need to be mindful of?
So especially because it is the dry season, we can make sure that we have around our homes the shrubbery and the grass. We have that to a manageable level, because as outside gets trained, we have those grass fires. You need to make sure that the grass doesn't come too close to your home, so that if a grass fire does occur, it doesn't impact you. You can also reach out to Carib Supply, Safety Supply, Regional Fire and Security, and make sure that you have the correct extinguishing media. You can also reach out to the Fire Service, specifically the Fire Academy, and we can do some training with you to make sure that you or a company, their staff are well trained to manage the fires.
So get rid of that dry stuff around us. One, don't light your dry stuff when you begin to get rid of it, because we tend to want to burn it, because we know sometimes the sanitation service authority might just drive on by.
Yeah.
So don't burn. What should I do? Mulch?
Well, no, really and truly, as you said, you shouldn't burn. So you can call the sanitation services, and you can potentially have a skid or something and clean it up and dump it in there.
And it's important that every house has some appliance to out the fire.
Yes, that is true.
But, go ahead.
We do see often, and persons become complacent, thinking that it can't be them. But if you pay attention to the news, someone is always impacted with a house fire. So make sure that you have smoke detectors, make sure you have the alarms and the extinguishing media in your homes.
But Mr. Howard, not every extinguishing appliance works in every situation, does it?
No, really. The best type of extinguisher to use in an indoor situation, office environment, kitchen area, would be the CO2, the carbon dioxide fire extinguisher.
Which is the big one there by fire officers' feet.
And that comes in two sizes mainly, a 5 pound or 2K, and a 10 pound, which is about a 4K. Then there is the smaller, the ABC or the dry chemical fire extinguishers. But those are used in general areas, mostly where you find oils or greases, garages, and that kind of stuff. So, right, and those come in various sizes. Again, they come in 1K, which is about 2.5 pounds, 2K, which is 5 pound, 5K, and 9K, which is goes up to about 20 pounds, right? Fire extinguishers on the whole should be mounted and be placed by an exit. So like in case, as you said earlier, you're running to go outside, you grab the fire extinguisher from the door because it's in your side and try to extinguish, because the fire starts only as a blaze, right? So you can extinguish the blaze in about 10 seconds, 15 seconds or so, right? And without using all the chemicals in both fire extinguishers, right? So that is why they always state that you place your fire extinguishers within sight of about a 30-meter distance and within arm's length. You don't want the fire extinguisher too high above your height or a lady's height, right? You want to go to the exit, grab the fire extinguisher within arm's length and extinguish the blaze.
You said mounted as opposed to just sit on the ground.
No.
Why? What's the difference?
Well, the fire service always, our company also too, always insists that fire extinguisher should be mounted and instead of placed on the ground.
Why, the ground is too cold or something? I don't know. I'm asking for a reason, because we have it on the ground.
Yes.
So why should it be mounted and not just simply placed on the ground?
Because being mounted, it can be easily be seen.
Right, okay.
Right? And it should also be accompanied by extinguisher signature signs, right? So that in places of work, you might have fire extinguishers all around the office, and they'll go unnoticed to employees. As recently as yesterday, I visited a business establishment, and the fire extinguisher was within sight, and one of the ladies told me, but I didn't know that I had a fire extinguisher.
She took it for granted. She just walked up. A lot of people tend to do that. You're right. We just walk on by and don't pay attention to what's in our environment. And so it's important as we up the ante on fire safety to pay attention to where these appliances are. And your escape routes as well. My emergency exit is also very critical. And that's why we have a lot of these we've been showing to you on our screen as well, because these help to manage the process in the event of a flame in your property or in your establishment as well. There's also the fire alarm.
Yeah, smoke alarm. Yeah.
Sorry, well, that too. Yeah. When the smoke occurs, it beeps and it makes the noise. Yeah, and some of us with the sinus issues, you don't quite smell right. You don't smell. Y'all know what I mean. You don't quite get. You know what I'm talking about. And so you don't detect the smell. But the alarm will alert you that there's something in the area that needs attention as well. All right, and all of this we will be doing on the 3rd of May.
Yes. That is correct.
That is correct. So, but one of the things we love to do a lot, and it's right here on our table, we tend to do this a lot when we celebrate.
Yes.
Happy birthday! And we have one of these sparklers right there stuck into a cake.
Yes.
And it freaks you out when it's lit because, it startles you.
Yes.
So what are some of the things I need to be mindful of with these sparklers?
Well, when you have a sparkler, you know, it comes up and it comes up kind of like a little like a little tornado.
Yeah.
It comes up, so you have to be careful that the sparks do not come on you, and then you also should be careful that, you know, it's not close to your eyes when you actually light it. It only lasts for about 8 seconds, but you have to be conscious, and you should have it in an open area. You should normally light them in an open area, not in an area that is enclosed.
They caution me to light one. So they tell me light one, light one. So who's going to light one? We need the torch back. So Dr. Joanne, since you're with the lab coat,
right.
Something to light one. Yeah, we'll need both. We'll
Yes.
need both. We'll need both. Let's see if we get Peter on TV. Come, Peter. This is Peter Bino, our photographer who's in studio with me. The man hiding.
Yes.
I'm not taking it from you.
Right.
There he is. That's Peter.
Okay.
The man behind the camera. All right, so let's see how this works then. And why we need to be very, very careful about it as well. And of course, this, folks, is all happening at the Barbados Fire Service in Arch Court on the 3rd of May. Arch Hall, the 3rd of May. And it's really some hands-on fun activities for children 13 to 20 years old. They will see live fire demonstrations. They'll use different fire extinguishers. They'll explore the retardant materials as well. Discover water's unique properties and also opportunities to learn more about chemistry of fireworks. So all of this is there. Food and drinks will be provided, light snacks. Parental consent for those children will be critical, those particularly under 18 years of age. So parents, engage your child, let them come, but in doing so, give consent indeed. So that's absolutely important. But you need to register.
Yes.
You need. So you ready to light?
Yes, we are.
Here we go. Stand by for this. Again, don't try this at home. You want to light my cake?
No. Yes.
That's
You're gonna
fine.
light your cake.
No, seriously, leave it there, as if I'm at an event.
Yes,
Because we're going to be this close. It's okay.
Yes, yes.
It's okay.
I'm watching the plant.
The plant needs to live.
Yes.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, happy birthday! And there it goes right away. And so, as we can see, the sparkles are flaring and flying everywhere. And while it's beautiful to behold, it can also be quite dangerous.
Yes.
And so we want you to be mindful of your proximity to it.
Right.
And the kind of smoke it can emit as well if you're conscious and
that's
you're
right. That's
affected by
right.
that.
Right. So at the event, each child who participates is gonna get their own sparkler and own tiny little cake, at the end, which is gonna be like our showstopper, and they can light it at the event, or they can take it home with them and light it at home and let their parents see what they have been up to. Right. So we have all of these things planned for you. Macmillan Caribbean is going to provide lots of textbooks which we are going to be giving as prizes. So as we go along and we having different activities, and for those children who are really engaging and interact and answer questions, we have the different science books from Macmillan that they will be getting as prizes that they can take home and and learn more about science.
This is sweet. Happening on the 3rd of May, but registration, we need to register. How do we do so?
That's
so
correct.
When you're going to register, you can either contact me by WhatsApp. The number is 831-4447, or you can contact us via the email at rscchemworkshop. So that's CHEMWORKSHOP.
You know to yourself.
Yes.
At gmail.com.
Right. Yes, and we have space for 100 students.
Yes.
Just 100.
Oh, it's limited space, so folks, you better get on fast. Get on fast. Send the WhatsApp quick to 831-4447, or drop that email to rscchemworkshop@gmail.com.
Yes,
and get cracking, because it's a wonderful opportunity, I believe. Now, in registration, what do I need to provide you with?
Okay, you can provide me with the name of the child. I will need the name of the parent, some contact information for the parent, a telephone number, the child's age and their school. And then if the child is under 18 years of age, the parents have to sign a consent form. So I will distribute that via email.
That's right.
And if you forget to at least list your contact details so that Dr. Joanne can reach out to you and make sure that all is filled and all are ready and legit to be there indeed.
That's right.
And I'm sure, Mr. Hartley, while you'll be there, we'll also be engaging with you on having questions and other demonstrations and so forth, right?
Yes, that is
surely
correct.
will.
That is correct.
And the same thing with
please,
Carb
yeah.
Supply.
Yes.
All right. This is going to be a wonderful day indeed. And so it's just 100 spaces, just 100 people, all at Arch Hall Fire Station. We know where to find that. If we could find Mount Stinkery, we could find Arch Hall Fire Station. You know, that's where we're all going on the 3rd. I mean, what day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Good,
That's a
good,
Saturday.
good. Remember, light refreshments will be on available and presented to the children. 100 people who register are there. And while you're there, you're engaging in so many different things.
Right. So Officer Hart can tell us more about, the different things that the fire service has planned.
Right. So outside of the chemistry displays as well, we also want to show them the fire aspect, as we said. So we will have engaging presentation to show them fire safety in the home. We will also give them the opportunity to extinguish live burns. So we'll light fire, they'll get to use the extinguisher, and they'll get to extinguish live fires. They'll also have, provided by Carb Supply, some fire blankets that they can use instead of the kitchen. Should they be at home cooking or somebody's at home cooking, how can you use the fire blanket? We'll also have one of our appliances, one of the newer ones, so that they can come and get on, turn on the sirens. Everybody loves that. They'll get to see some of the newer equipment that we have, and it can also open their minds to how chemistry also interacts with the fire service, because people don't think of it like that, but a big part of studying to become a fire officer is understanding chemistry.
Really? Didn't know that. Well, that's good to know indeed. And so, but I know, Dr. Joy, I know this is where you're passionate, as one of the senior lab tech, about understanding chemistry, how chemistry really works into everything we do.
The thing is, that is one of the whole aims of the workshop, because we interact with chemistry every day. We use disinfectants at home, we cook. I like to say cooking is chemistry, except that we can eat the results. In the lab, we really can't. So, but we do not always think of how chemistry plays a part in our daily lives. Every single aspect of our lives, chemistry involving. You get into your car, we drove here this morning, you had gas, chemicals in your car, so you don't think about that. And what we are trying to do is to sensitize the youth, especially about how chemistry is so important, how it plays a part in their daily lives, and especially those who are studying chemistry at school, because we sit in the classroom and it's a bit uptight. Everything is spewed at you or written on the board and you just take it down, sometimes not really understanding how this actually applies in real life. So our interactions are hands-on. We want you to be involved. We want you to see chemistry's alive. You interact with chemistry every single day. You need to think about it and be sensitized about it. We don't want you to be fearful of the chemicals, but we want you to understand how they work, and we want you to respect them.
Indeed. And if something should happen, what to do if you find yourself in a bit of a calamity.
Yes.
All right, folks, it's happening on the 3rd of May at the Arch Hall Fire Station in St. James. It's open to 100 participants between the ages of
13
and 20, but you need to register. Call Joanne quickly, and the information will return to our screen. WhatsApp Joanne on 831-4447, 831-4447, 831-4447, or send an email to rscchemworkshop@gmail.com. It's right there on your screen, that little blue square at the bottom. That's where all the information is of contact. And so the Royal Society of Chemistry, under the patronage of the Barbados Fire Service, is inviting all of those children to be a part of this free, fun youth chemistry workshop on the 3rd of May. Thank you so much, ladies. Doctors, sirs, thank you very much indeed. I wish you well.
Thank you.
We're taking a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Discount offers the Ancient Nutrition Collection featuring
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
3 past the hour now. Let's look at news. Despite ongoing industrial action by one teachers union, 11 days ahead of the 11 plus, the Ministry of Education has announced that schools will remain open. Word of this comes from Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw during a press conference held at the Ministry of Education on Thursday. She says she has reached out to the principal of the Erdelston Teachers Training College and has asked for teachers in training to sit with and teach affected students today.
To assure the members of the public, I want to assure parents that this Ministry of Education is working to make sure that your children are safe and that whatever we do it in the best interest of your children, which in fact, or who in fact are our children.
Well, by way of background, the BUT gave government an ultimatum to meet their demand of restarting teachers' terms leave by the end of business on Wednesday or face 2 days of industrial action. Dr. Archer Bradshaw reports that following the action, 6 schools were affected. That's Belmont, Arthur Smith, St. Lawrence, Workman's, Sharon and St. Jude's primary schools. And she's expressed disappointment over the handling of the matter, while praising principals for the way in which they handled the fallout. Meanwhile, Minister of Education Transformation, Senator Chad Blackman, says they remain open to continued dialogue with the teachers over the ongoing issue dating back 11 years and invites the BUT to return to the table. He stresses industrial action is the ultimate last step in industrial relations and notes negotiations are still ongoing. Senator Blackman urges members of the BUT to exercise empathy towards the nation's children.
There's a time under the sun for everything. And I want to say this to the country. But education is not the sector to play politics with. There's a time for politics. There'll be time for by-elections and different things. But we must hold a line, and I certainly, as Minister with responsibility for education of this great country, Barbados, will not allow our education and our children to be caught in the crossfires of politics. Can't work, and I will not allow it.
Health and safety officers in the workplace are putting their heads together to address issues of persistent challenges plaguing workplaces as new and emerging challenges shape the future of occupational safety and health. These and other topics came up for discussion as the second edition of the Safety 360 conference got underway at the Barbados Workers Union Hugh Springer Auditorium. Rachel Agard files this report.
Safety remains the number one priority for those on health and safety committees in workplaces. And those gathered at this year's Safety 360 conference will also be addressing mental health in the workplace, climate-related hazards, change in technology, and the need for resilient people-centered policies. Minister of Labour, Social Security, and the Third Sector, Colin Jordan, notes a number of tragedies have been suffered by those working at heights, and he has given an instruction for a draft regulation on working at heights to be produced. He says this all forms part of government's push to create a workplace culture where safety, health, and wellness is prioritized.
This is absolutely necessary. The very last one is still, for me, a very painful one, given how the tragedy took place, and then the actual, I'm not going to cause any of us to relive the scene, but the body and pieces of steel don't really work together. And those tragedies, we have to make sure that those tragedies are a thing of the past.
Meanwhile, Director of the International Labour Organization, Decent Work Team and Office for the Caribbean, Dr. Joni Musa Bayana, says the ILO's Global Being for 2025 invites employers to rethink health and safety, the role of artificial intelligence and digitization at work.
It invites us to think critically about how technology is reshaping not just how we work, but how we protect workers in this new digital landscape. ILO's own analysis of World Day 2025 highlights that these technologies, when implemented thoughtfully, can reduce physical strain, minimize human error, and strengthen our ability to monitor and prevent risks proactively. But this revolution in safety must be approached with care and dignity.
And BWU's General Secretary Tony Moore urges workers to embrace new technologies.
Our job here at the Barbados Workers Union is to ensure that when technology is introduced, it protects, but it does not pressure. Our job is to help you prepare for a future of work where your job will change. Technology, AI, digitalization will change the nature of your job. Our role is to help you prepare better to function in a world of work where technology removes some of the tasks that you have been accustomed doing, but prepares you and to take advantage of the opportunities to do other tasks that it imposes.
World Safety and Health at Work Day will be celebrated on Monday. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Government Senator Gregory Nichols is willing and ready to represent the people of St. Thomas as their Member of Parliament in the House of Assembly. Senator Nichols says he intends to take over the mantle from sitting Member of Parliament Cynthia Ford, who has served that constituency for more than 2 decades. The attorney at law spoke to CBC News at Sharon Primary, where he made a presentation to Class 4 students.
The MP, Ms. Ford, has indicated that she is no longer going to be contesting the seat. So yes, this is indicative of my intention to take on the mantle from Ms. Ford, who has been a great MP for a long time and a servant of the community. She taught here at the Sharon Primary School for many, many years. She was a Cub Scout leader. She was a Sunday school superintendent. And I have been groomed and working in this area for a long time. This presentation is nothing new. We've been working in the community quietly for many, many years, and I hope that this will be a start of a different relationship with the people in St. Thomas.
Senator Nichols says he fully understands the dynamics and needs of the parish where he was raised.
Well, I bring a certain confidence that we understand the parish a lot. This is an area where I spent a lot of time growing up, here in St. Thomas as a Sharonite, Sharon Church in the community, working with the community, understanding the issues that are peculiar to rural Barbados and how we have not always been part and parcel of the sweets that one would speak. So that is something we have to work on. There's also the preservation of our natural environment and making sure that it is not over utilized.
in ways that would deprive the environment of its natural beauty. There are issues of employment, there's issues of lack of sporting facilities. There are things that we need in St. Thomas.
Sports now. Burger King Clapham Bulls have taken the first step towards sweeping all of the BABA's titles this season. After winning the President's Cup and the 3-on-3 tournament, the Bulls took Game 1 of the Cooperators General Insurance Premier League Finals Series over 246 Mobile Shop City United Celtics at the Barbados Community College. Mark Seal reports.
Celtics started Jemai White to counter the Bulls' big man Akeem Marsh with height and size, but Marsh still got the first basket of the game, slipping behind White for the easy layup. There were two key elements of this Game 1. The refs set a playoff atmosphere, allowing players a measure of aggression without blowing the whistle, and as a result, there were turnovers. Simeon Maynard of the Bulls benefiting here after Celtics coughed up the ball. They had 18 turnovers on the night, and Bulls 13. The players, however, for some amount of time seemed to relish the defensive freedom, and the offense didn't do too much complaining either. Rashid Maynard absorbing contact and still scoring on the play. He had 20. Similar thing at the other end, Joel Hunt one-on-one with Marsh, the lefty with a nifty spin move, absorbing the contact and finishing off the play off the board. Hunt had a double-double of 15 points and 11 rebounds. Celtics led after the first quarter by 2. At some point, though, the players got agitated by increasing contact. Rashid Maynard gets the basket, but clearly not pleased. Celtics, though, ought to have been a bit more pleased by the half, as they were still up. Darren Hurley made sure of that with this 3, with just seconds on the clock. He had 12, as Celtics led by 1 going into the break. Kazarian Adams came to life for Celtics in the third quarter. Here, Cesek taking advantage of the Bulls having a man down, and he gets the slam. He had a team-high 19. He also created for others. Here, driving and dishing to the wing. The unselfish play continues until Theo Greenwich gets the rock, and he goes for the layup, 2 of his 10. Celtics were inspired. Bulls losing possession again. Hurley leading the break, and Jared Allen finishes off with the stuff. However, the third would be as close as the first 2. And with this 3 from Simeon Maynard, who incidentally had a game-high 31 points, including 3 three-pointers, the Bulls managed to tie the game at 63 going into the fourth. Let's have a game reset. Celtics now leading 80-79 with a minute 40 to play. And Bulls dialed up their defense. Rashid pressuring Cesek into a double dribble. Bulls getting the ball. The resulting play, Darian Hurley with the straightaway 3. Bulls now up 82-80 with 45 seconds to go. Another turnover by the Celtics, and Adams forced to give the hard playoff foul to stop Rashid from getting the easy 2. Still though, Maynard making both free throws, so the Bulls now leading 84-80. To the dying seconds, Celtics down by 4, but they're given a glimmer of hope. Rashid called for the foul on Hurley as he attempted a three-pointer. Hurley, though, missed the first free throw. He scored the second, but down by 3, he had to miss the third, hope that the Celtics would get the rebound and get a quick 3. Hurley did miss, but Marsh got the rebound. And with him being fouled rather than having the ball stolen, it was virtually game over. Bulls held on to win by 3, 86-83, to take game number 1. Mark Seal, CBC Sports.
Thank you, Mark. Game 2 is at 7 this evening at the BCC Gym. We'll take a break here at 15 after 7. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
on CBC TV 8.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
17 after 7, the riddle remains unsolved. I know Darius in Trinidad and Tobago is probably still online watching. So the question is, what is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun? What is stronger than steel but cannot handle the sun? Imagine that. And it ain't me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. And Rachel Edgar, by the way, joins me right here. She's from our newsroom. Rachel, good morning, first of all.
Good morning, Pearson.
What is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun?
Rachel Edgar.
You hear lie? That's lie. And what would cause you to think it's you?
I am not an early morning person, Pearson.
But look at you, you're alive, you're okay.
And walking with my cup everywhere I go.
That's a good start.
It is too early in the morning. Mornings are meant for sleeping.
And what's night meant for?
To be alive. That's
Then
when things happen.
That's why your life is turned upside down?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Now you see the face to the voice behind Rachel Edgar, CBC News. This is her right here. In the flesh. And we're happy to have her here because Rachel is Trinidadian. Born in Trinidad, correct? Moved to Barbados.
Where the pretty girls are from, or as I like to say, where the first Black Miss Universe is from.
You're right on that score. That part you're right on.
There you go.
But we have pretty girls here too.
I agree. I agree.
Good. So we started this discussion in the newsroom, you and me.
Yes.
Because I posed the question, I said, Rachel, have you been tracking politics in Trinidad? And you said?
Yes.
And I wanted then to find out from you, how does this election campaign today, one, compare with election campaigns you would have covered as a journalist in Trinidad? What's your answer?
This one is different, I think, because it is so racially charged. I don't know if other people see it, but for some strange reason, there seems to be a big divide between the Afro-Trinidadians and the Indian Trinidadians. And I think it is a sad thing because there's a line in our national anthem that says, where every creed and race find an equal place. And I'm a firm believer of that. That's the funny thing. And I don't know why we seem to be so divided all of a sudden. I know everybody needs to score their political points, whatever, but I don't think that we need to go on a whole smear campaign to do so. I mean, everybody throw their hat in the ring and may the best man win.
So, you think this election campaign is a little different from the past because of race.
Yes.
And that's because the leader of the UNC, the one who's putting herself out as the next prime minister, perhaps to become a repeat prime minister, is Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, who herself is Indo.
Yes.
And Stuart Young is?
He's a little bit of everything, like me.
Okay, fair enough. And so on the race lines, it's different. There's also the age factor. Does that surprise you? And what do you hear coming out of Trinidad when you make connections there about the age difference?
I think Prime Minister Young, he will be able to resonate with the people within my age bracket and a little bit younger. As I like to say, I'm not 40 yet. He will be able to resonate with them. The thing is that we don't know a lot about him. We've seen him around. He's been the minister of everything, as we like to say. So that makes him a good fit in the sense of knowing how things operate and being able to manage things. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar, on the other hand, I don't know if at this point in time, she is the person to lead the country. I mean, wanting to be in charge of something is one thing, but leading a whole country is another dynamic.
But she's done it before.
She has, but that is when she was much younger. She had way more energy. Now, my daughter is 13 years old. When she was younger, I used to be on her like white on rice. Now, I let her fly. At some point in time, you need to be able to let go the reins and say, this is my legacy. While it is, I have done well in the past, pass on the knowledge to somebody to carry on the story.
Do you think now is the time to do so, because the election was, the date and the call for elections was sprung upon?
Oh
the
yes,
UNC?
I thought that was brilliant, really. I thought it was brilliant.
Yes.
The way how they had the convention, and Prime Minister Rowley, before he demitted office, they presented the 41 candidates, and I was like, okay, I said, and I told myself, I said, something is happening here, but I cannot see it. And I watched the swearing-in ceremony, and I was like, look at Stuart, he looks so nice up there.
Yes.
And then you just heard later the evening, election call, and I was like, wow, I did not see that coming. And I said, it is so brilliant.
But that can also work against.
It can. But I think this election is getting the younger people on board. That is the key to whoever wins the election, getting the younger people on board.
I'll ask you what I asked Darius earlier. Which campaign do you think is exciting the young people more than the other, that has the potential perhaps to find their way into office?
That's a good question. I think it's a 50-50 thing right now, because the PNM, as far as I can see, they're not campaigning in the true sense of the word. And maybe that's a bit of complacency in the sense that they've been there, and I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, social media attracts a lot of young people. And like me, for example, I'm not a big social media person. I use it mainly for work, yes. But then I have to clue myself into what is going on, because I have a young whippersnapper. So when she comes and she talks, I need to be able to understand what she is saying. So social media and with the advent of technology and AI and everything, most people don't use traditional means to get news anymore. You hop on Instagram. For example, if Pearson Bowen is a big sensation, if Pearson is say it, it can't be true.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I've been on the rounds on Instagram and other things. So I get it. I don't mind y'all using me as a meme. It does not bother me 1 ounce. I thank you, as a matter of fact, because you helped the promotion. And so
there you go.
And that's the magic to the whole thing.
Exactly. But at the same time, you also have that cross-section of society that like to turn on the TV, listen to the news, turn on the radio, listen to the news, flip through a physical newspaper and not just scroll on their phones. So it depends, but the young people are going to be the key to winning this election.
What do you think really needs to change in Trinidad and Tobago that you hope this election is able to start that change in?
That we go back to being the society we used to be when I was growing up, where I could have run across my Pearson and play with Pearson kids, or you know, that kind of thing. We have come away from being people, and it's like we get so caught up in our own lives that we forget to just live and just be. And I hope that at some point in time we could get back to that point. I know crime is a big thing in Trinidad, but at the same time I also believe crime in any sphere is targeted. Yes, you may have innocent bystanders who get caught up in the crossfire, but crime somehow is targeted. When I went back to Trinidad to study, I spent about 13 years in Trinidad. And as much as there were shootings and killings and everything going on, I've not seen a dead man anywhere on the streets.
Same thing for me here.
Exactly my point. Well, Barbados is different, because I tell people you can leave your front door open and go down, well, maybe not now, but you can leave your front door open and go down the road and come back. You can leave the car open and know that it will be fine. In certain parts of Trinidad, you still have that, but I don't think people would risk it now. And then you also have to consider too who you may be, your connections, your family orientation. Like when I was back home, because of who my dad was, it was almost like, oh, okay, you're Mr. Agard's daughter. So that came with a certain level of respect.
Right.
But at the same time, if we could get rid of the crime element, Trinidad would be such a beautiful place.
Anyway, I think the campaign financing, I want to ask a question because I've noticed in monitoring media in Trinidad, every turn, this is a paid political announcement, this is a paid political, and just back to back and on and on and on. So I queried that, and I was told, you know, we are already making millions of dollars out of this campaign alone. That, from your understanding of what's been happening and happened before, is that unusual that they're spending so much on the campaign this time around?
No. I guess to get results, you have to spend money. It's like going into business. To make money, you have to spend the money. And if you don't spend the money and get your messaging out, then, I mean, you don't count. It's like advertising leading up to a big show. If it is, we don't find every nook and cranny to send our messaging out, then what are we really doing?
But that's a lot of money. And if you invest in this kind of way, then I expect a return on my investment, don't you?
Of course.
So therefore, to those who are financing, do you see that to be a danger? Because then there's reciprocity that has to follow. And therefore, the piper plays the tune.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
So that's not usual, right? Nothing unusual.
I wouldn't say so. Not really. Not really.
All
no.
right. Monday is Elections Day. Tuesday is the day after. Rachel Agard will be back on our couch.
In my red, black, and white, please.
Yeah, she's still wearing her national colors.
Today is actually Red Day in Trinidad.
Is it?
Is it?
Why is that?
I think it's the lead up to the election.
Or because of a political party, the PNM.
Of course.
And they've dubbed today Red Day.
Yes.
I'll check that out when I'm done here to see what's happening there too.
You're in the wrong colors today, Pearson.
You know, speaking of that, Jack Warner, his party was green.
Yes.
Is he still?
I have not heard about Jack in a while.
Okay, good.
In a while.
Good. And I'm not a supporter of Jack Warner's party, by the way, because I'm wearing green today. But thank you so much, Rachel, as always.
It was my pleasure.
And if I should ask you, Rachel, how are you doing? You would normally say?
Blessed and highly flavored.
That's my girl. That's my girl. Blessed and highly flavored. All right, Rachel, thank you.
You are most welcome.
I'll see you upstairs when I'm done.
Yes, thank you.
You're Mornin Barbados to take a break. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:30, and we turn our attention now to an event coming up on Sunday at the Usain Bolt complex. And the man is right here to talk to me about it. His name is Rico Bradshaw. I've introduced you to him before. We had that lovely lady who's representing Miss Barbados in the upcoming Miss
Universe Caribbean.
Thank you so much
Yes.
indeed. He is with Lutz Gem. He's the managing director and he's also the event producer of the upcoming Lutz Gem Charity, Sports and Family Fun Day. A lot to talk about here, Rico.
Yes, definitely.
So where do we start? Why is this happening? Why do you do this?
First of all, Lutz Gem would have started in 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. I saw it necessary to assist those young people between the ages of 16 to 25 to actually kind of build a future for themselves. I recognize that a lot of students would have left school but then don't know where to go or what to do. So the Lutz Gem organization, GEM stands for Growing Empowering Minds, was formulated to bridge that gap between those school leavers and getting them either to further their education or job attachments through our partnerships.
And how's that going?
That is going good. Actually, this year will be season 4 of the program. So it's a 6-month developmental program. We focus 3 months on personal development and then the other 3 months on professional development. The first 3 months, what we do, we partner with SNS Foundation, Scar Not Shattered Foundation, and we do a program called the 3 R's to Healing: Reflect, Release, and Restore, right? And that in itself is very impactful. And then it kind of prepared their mind to then go into the professional aspect of it, where we go through resume writing, where we do time management skills, where we look at how to operate in the world of work and so forth.
And that's so important, I think, especially for a young person. And you think, oh, young people don't have any challenges, but sometimes they have challenges and they need to just stop, reflect, release, and then what's the other R?
Restore.
And then restore to a path of a success.
Yes.
And to accentuate themselves to being their best selves as well. And so this Family Fun Day that you have coming up.
Yes, please.
This is at the Usain Bolt complex. Is this a sport event?
Yes. So it is. It is a sporting event, focusing on track and field events and novelty events. Last year was our first year doing it. We would have held the sports day at the Glebe playing field. We had the SNS Foundation and Miato Foundation as well made it against the Oz Foundation participating in that particular event. SNS end up being the winners, just beat Lutz Gem by 1 point. 1 point, but this year it has grown and we have 6 participating charities and youth groups that will be participating. So Barbados Youth Development Council is joining us, the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, and then House of
SNS,
Soca.
yourselves.
Yes, SNS and Miato and ourselves as well.
This is great, and this is happening at the Usain Bolt. Is it free to everyone?
No, you have to pay a registration fee. It's $15 for adults and $10 for children.
All right. So this is that, and you're having track and field events.
Yes, track and field events.
And what ages are these races?
So it's all ages. So it's a family fun day. So we have pre-primary, primary categories, secondary, adult A, adult B, and over 50s as well. So Pearson, just like yourself, you
Which
can
category
be there.
are we in? The over 15s?
No, I never said which category, but I'm just saying that we have events for everybody.
Yeah, and of different abilities. You don't have to be a sprinter. You don't have to have medaled at anything. It's fun.
Yes.
And that's the whole point. So while you have those distance races as we know them, there are other fun races that you can engage in.
Correct. Puss Catch a Corner.
You haven't played that in so long.
Yes, we have that. That's one of the most anticipated novelty events coming out of last year. We have the sack race, the needle and thread, the lime and spoon, those type of events that we're having as well.
This is brilliant, and it's all on Sunday. What time does it start?
It starts at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and we go straight down to 8 p.m.
You got that right, because there's a lot you're doing.
It's a lot of activities on that day. Yes, a lot of activities. So we have a schedule, and then we also take a break as well from 3:30 to 4:30 for lunch. You know,
I'll have to catch our breath.
Yeah.
At my age, we have to catch our breath.
Yes.
And so it starts at noon and runs
please.
until 8 o'clock, all at the Usain Bolt complex this coming Sunday. So yes, you get the church, not out of the way, but you do church, and then you put on your track clothes, so you come on down and engage in some track and field events, but some fun events as well. Charities are competing once against the other, just for bragging rights, right?
Yeah, just for bragging rights. But there will be medals and trophies and stuff that we'll be giving out. And as I mentioned before, it has grown big. So we're anticipating over 300 persons attending this event, and plus more, because up to yesterday, persons were still registering. They have up to today to register to participate in the event.
How can they register?
They can register by following our IG page, and they can select the link that's in our bio and use that registration link to register.
And your IG page is Lux
Gem Organization.
Lux Gem Organization on social, and just scan the code. I wonder if you can scan it on your TV right now. I wonder if you can get that done.
You can. They can.
Scan on your TV. Look there and register right away, folks. And this is happening on Sunday. It's open to the charities, but it's open to all of you who are interested in supporting young people's development, empowering their minds, seeing the change, helping them to release and then restore. But they need to reflect first on where they've been, how they're doing, and then begin the release and the restoration. And so your attendance on Sunday from noon right through to 8 o'clock, spend time. You're going to laugh your head off. Because, a sack race is not as easy as it sounds. You may fall in a sack race, the egg and spoon, you will drop it, and you will have a good cackle. Because the person who thought that they could proved themselves not to be able to. And so we want to encourage all of you to come. Now have a good time as a family. It's a fun day on Sunday from 12 noon at the Usain Bolt complex, indeed. But you need to register if you want to participate. You pay at the door and as you come, and then you're good to have a whole day of lots of activities as well.
Definitely.
Is there anything else you want to share, Rico?
Well, what I would say is to just encourage everyone to come out. As I said, it's a family atmosphere. We have lots of giveaways as well to give away throughout the day. So just come and have fun with us.
So the quick big question, which charity or youth group will be the champion this year?
Yes.
Is it SNS? Is it Lux Gem? Is it Miata? Who shall it be indeed? Or is it the Barbados Youth Development Council? We don't know, but you can find out yourself on Sunday at the Usain Bolt complex. Remember, starting at 12 noon through till 8 o'clock. But stay for all of it so you can celebrate with everyone their outstanding achievements indeed. Rico Bradshaw, thank you so much for joining us again. And I wish you and the charities much success in this activity.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, my brother.
All right.
I have a question for you, Rico. Yes. What is stronger than steel but can't handle ice? But can't handle the sun, sorry. What is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun? Can't handle the sun.
Wow. Immediately thought of metal, but you said steel, so I don't know.
Okay, that's a good answer because you're wrong on that answer. Thank you very much, Rico.
Yeah.
We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world.
Property. And the theme is IP and music, feel the beat of IP. And joining me to talk about this is Senior Legal Counsel Tamar Grant. Tamar, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
Good to have you indeed. Should I ask you my quiz, my riddle up front?
Give me some more time to think about it.
That's fair. All right. So intellectual property.
Yes.
Oftentimes we take that for granted. And we just say, oh, well, yes, go ahead and use it. Or someone else abuses it and we hear about it and we say, well, I can't do anything about it. So how do you respond to that behavior?
Well, first and foremost, just for the benefit of everyone, yes, tomorrow is World Intellectual Property Day, and this is the time at which we usually emphasize the importance of intellectual property to creatives and innovators across the world. And for this year, the theme for World Intellectual Property Day is IP and music, feel the beat of IP. And under that theme, we're focusing on the importance of intellectual property for our musicians and performers and singers and everyone involved in the music industry. So just to come back to your question about dealing with the issues related to intellectual property, in particular the protection of your work, first and foremost, it is always important for persons to know what intellectual property is. If you want to begin to protect it, you have to first be knowledgeable about what it is.
So what is it?
Okay, so generally, intellectual property refers to the creations and innovations of the human mind. And intellectual property covers a number of different categories because human creativity and innovation touches every aspect of our lives. And so with respect to the theme, which focuses on music, the type of intellectual property that is being highlighted this year is copyright.
And so again, what's copyright? Because a lot of times you don't quite get that.
Yes, so copyright is a form of intellectual property which protects literary and artistic works. This covers a wide range of such works. We are most familiar with novels, books, films, music, and that's all genres, including soca and calypso. It also pertains to broadcasts and digital works as well.
So that means if I'm working in this building for this employer, decide I'm going to do a show called whatever, and that's the name of the show. It's called whatever. While I am under their employ, who owns the copyright to that?
Okay, so that will be determined by your contract of employment. So let's start first by stating that with respect to copyrighted works, you, the author, the creator, the default position is that you own your copyright in that work. But the caveat is, if you are under contract, under employment for someone else, then although you may have created it, because it was created as part of your contract for employment, then it is the individual who is employing you or who has contracted you to do the work who will ultimately own the copyright.
Good. So as an artist, if I said, Tamar, could you write this song for me? I have now employed you to write this song. Who owns the copyright?
Well, that would be determined by the terms of our contract and our agreement. So in many instances, and you especially see this where you may have companies, entities that produce music and distribute it on behalf of their artists. The artist may create the work, but the copyright would belong to that producer entity or that distribution company. And that is because that is the specific terms within their contract. But I know you are fair, so your contract would probably indicate that I could still maintain my ownership of my work, although, and we were split.
Yeah, we can negotiate that. That's the point. But because it's important to have that contract drawn up. Don't just leave it to word of mouth. And a lot of times, a lot of struggling artists or new artists don't quite understand that. That is so important to document the agreement. What is the arrangement here?
Yes.
So there's no confusion.
Yes, yesterday we had with us a group of young students, both from the Barbados Community College and from the Barbados Youth Advanced Corps, where we went through a workshop with them about knowing your intellectual property rights for the business of music. And we highlighted that was one of the main points we tried to highlight to them. Ensure that you understand all of your intellectual property rights as it relates to your music, because once you know what you have and what you own, that will then inform the kinds of contracts and specifically what terms you would want to include in your contract, what you're trying to get out of your contractual arrangements and agreements.
sometimes the other person across the table is so much smarter. and so would you advocate and advise that in those situations that you do have a legal mind alongside you, or don't sign until you have it checked? Would be something you would suggest?
Yes. For artists and musicians out there, I would recommend seeking the advice and the assistance of persons who specialize in intellectual property. In some instances, seek an attorney at law who has carved out a niche in that area, because they would be very knowledgeable about the various types of IP and what you're looking to do with your particular works. But then we also have other agencies who provide that assistance, that knowledge and that guidance. And I speak particularly of the National Cultural Foundation, who work with our local artists as it relates to our cultural industries, and of course COSCAP, which is the collective rights management organization in Barbados that works along with persons in the music industry.
Oh, we lean on them a lot. Trust me, we do. And so I remember well, if you can too, there was a story about a lady who designed some crochet outfit, which Rihanna had worn, and then someone she claimed was copying her work and exploiting that property that she had. What's the best way for designers? Because you look at it and you figure, okay, rather than 2 sleeves, I'll take 1 off, but it's pretty much everything else is the same. Is that a new copyright? Or is that copyright infringement?
So with respect to dress design, that does not fall under copyright.
Okay.
That is covered by industrial designs, where you're looking at the shape and the aesthetics of a particular product. Dresses are not new, but the way in which the dress is created or the way it looks will differ depending on who the creator is. And so you could protect the design of that particular outfit. And I'm glad you touched on that, because I would like to highlight this for our musicians and creators out there. Usually when we think of music, we focus and zoom in on copyright. But when we're talking about the business of music, it is not only just copyright that you have to be concerned with. As we would have discussed in our workshop with the students yesterday, you have to look at how trademark interacts with music, how patents interact with music, and how industrial designs interact with music. And just to highlight for the benefit of our audience, when we speak of patents is a type of intellectual property that speaks to innovations and inventions. Now, you might not think that has anything to do with music, but what do you play your music on? What do you listen to your music on? How do you actually access music files? Whether it is through a computer, on the phone, whether you're using earphones, earbuds, all of those are inventions. And so you may, like Dr. Dre, invent the very next big thing in terms of music listening devices. And so that is one aspect of music that we may not traditionally think of in terms of intellectual property, but intellectual property in music, almost every aspect of every form of intellectual property can be found within the music industry.
I see lots of zeros in front of me, which suggests my time is up.
Oh dear.
Yes, because this is so involved and there's much more, and it's so deep, and sometimes we say it's because it's too much, I'm not even bothering with it. Proceed, do what you want to do. But we're losing a lot when we take that stance and say proceed, do whatever you want with it, because the values can come back to you if you got it right in the first instance. And so there's a lot to earn, and there's still a lot to learn. And so Senior Counsel Tamar Grant, may I invite you back? I know you're busy. Not a problem.
You can send the invitation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes.
We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
9 minutes to 8 o'clock as we turn our attention back to St. Joseph. After all, it's Parish Friday. And joining us is a face very, very familiar to you. I think you know her so well now, LaSasha Lane. LaSasha, again, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson.
We are winding down, but before we wind down,
Yeah.
I want to go back to last weekend. Listen, I know it had rain.
Yes, it did.
But I must tell you, the response was still fantastic.
We had an excellent crowd, Pearson.
Yeah.
Very good crowd. Everyone enjoyed themselves. The entertainment was so lovely.
Yes.
So everyone had a grand time.
Again, well organized, well put together. You felt community, you felt the fun, you felt the vibe, everything. And so that was important, I know, to you.
Yes.
You took the adventure.
Yes. Yes.
Did the tour happen? The tour?
Tour Barbados? Yes. So
In
that
muck
happened
and
during
mud. But that's the fun of it.
That's the fun of it. People enjoyed themselves, and they also had a treasure hunt during the day as well.
Yes.
So lots of fun during the day as well.
Sweet. I'm really, really happy for you. Was it a Soccerama final?
Yes, please. So we had our finals last night. Lots of young talent. So it was really good to see those teams competing for that cup. And our Erie Hill team, they would have won last night.
Well done,
So
Erie Hill.
congratulations to them.
Well done indeed. And so we're getting ready now for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Because April 30th is just around the corner, literally at the middle of next week.
Yes.
And so what else is happening?
All right. So on Saturday, we will be having our scavenger hunt. That is starting from 8 a.m. and until 12 p.m. We're asking persons to sign up because spaces are limited. So you can visit We Gathering Josephine's, the Instagram page, go into our bio, and you can register from there.
We Gathering Josephine's.
We Gathering Josephine's.
On
The link is in
Instagram.
the bio. Yes, please, on Instagram. The link is in the bio to register. We're asking those persons to get there by 7:20 just to get yourself settled so that we can have a prompt start. The clues are going to be right across the parish, so it will be a really interesting day to just get those clues out and see how best your team gets through. Teams will be between 2 to 4 persons, so it'll be a really fun time for all ages.
I am telling you,
encouraging everyone to sign up.
By the response so far to every event in St. Joseph, you better register now if you haven't already done so. We Gathering Josephine's on Instagram, and in the bio, you click the link that asks you to register for the Scavvy Hunt, which is tomorrow from 8 o'clock.
From 8 o'clock, yes, please.
Right.
On Sunday, we will be having our Heritage Hills hike. So really excited for that. That is from 6 a.m. You can visit barbadosnationaltrust.com/regathering just to sign up for that as well. That is free to register. However, there is a donation aspect of it as well, where you can purchase a package, a breakfast package, which comes with a t-shirt. That is $60 Barbados, but it is for a good cause. That will be for schools across the parish to give back to our school supplies.
That's good, and that's the one we've been looking forward to. We had a gentleman in from the trust, and so he's been excited about that because he explained to us he saw elements of the old train track, other artifacts and as they were scouting the track that they're going to be hiking with you on. And so it's important for you to get to know the history of the area and the history of the parish as well as you unearth a whole host of, remember, it's adventure.
Adventure.
And that's on Sunday.
Yes, please. That is on
6 o'clock in the morning.
From 6 o'clock in the morning.
Get your breakfast package.
Yes, please. So Saturday and Sunday, lots of fun activities winding down, but still adventure. And we do have some sponsors for Saturday for the scavenger hunt. So we have Flo, who is backing us as well. We have the National Transformation Initiative, who are backing us as well. So come out, there will be activities, maybe prizes, especially for the scavenger hunt. So we're encouraging persons to sign up for that and for our hike on Sunday as well.
Sweet. Monday, what's happening Monday?
Well, nothing on Monday.
Okay, National Heroes Day is a public holiday.
Nothing on Monday. But on the 29th, there is an IDAs forum that is put on by the Prime Minister's office. That will be at St. Bernard's Primary School from 6:30 p.m. and we're encouraging persons to come out, share your ideas, not only for the parish but also for Barbados as a whole, and share not only for those ideas to come from the government, but we also have excellent ideas as well. So if you can come out and share those ideas with us, it'll be splendid.
St. Bernard's Primary from 6 in the evening.
Yes, please.
Right,
yes,
the
please.
Ideas Forum.
Yes,
and then the last day of them all.
That will be our handover, which will be on the 30th. But more details will come on that.
Of course.
Yes, please.
Sasha, how has this journey been for you?
Oh, it has been a wonderful journey. Honestly, seeing how persons have came together, being able to see persons that I myself haven't seen in years. I met a guy that was my dad's friend. Who he has not seen in years, which I'm actually going by him a little later to have lunch today. So it has been good connecting with persons and seeing persons come out and engaging with each other. So really nice time, really nice time.
That's great. I want to give you the opportunity to mention some of the other people on the committee. You're the PRO, but there are other people. So can you call some names as we get ready to wind down?
Yes, please. So, yes, we want to. There's so many persons on the committee. I don't want to forget anyone. But our chairperson, his name is Matthew Hinkson. We also have Kelly, who would have been a big part of the Peg Farm Initiative, Kelly and Tricia, who would have been a big part of the Peg Farm Initiative for the kids. We have Rashonda, Antonio, Livy, who help with football. So there's so many different persons. Matthew Aline, there's so many persons that I don't want to forget.
So
Felicia.
just a big thank you to all of you.
Big thank you. Felicia helps us with food, and that is her background, so I don't want to forget her as well. So lots of persons that we wish to say thank you to.
And tell you, great work by your committee. You've always kept your smile.
Yes.
Right throughout everything that was going on.
Yes.
The Sasha smiled, which said to me, she's having fun, she's enjoying this, and she knows what's the mission at hand.
Yes.
And as I was saying to you off here, I think you've done so well, not just as the committee, as the individual.
Thank you.
We've
so
all
much.
grown to know you, and we're here, and Mornin Barbados, the team, have respected you for your ability to translate the information so interestingly so that we can get it.
Thank
and that
you
was
so
so
much.
important indeed. So well done to you and your committee. And from Mornin Barbados, we say thank you for being so open and ready to come to us. But we want to remind people, tomorrow
will be our scavenger hunt. That will be from 8 a.m. until 12, and that will be from St. Bernard's Primary School. I think I forgot to mention that, from St. Bernard's Primary School, but we're asking persons to get there at least by 7:20 so that we can have a prompt start. On Sunday will be our Heritage Hills hike, and that will be from St. Elizabeth Primary School from 6 a.m. We're encouraging everyone to sign up for these events, and there are limited spaces for the scavenger hunt as well, so sign up from early, visit our page so that you can be able to sign up for that. Barbados National Trust will be the page to sign up for the hike, and lots of adventure this weekend.
Lots to do indeed. Lasasha, I have a question for you. I hope it's not too hard. Already she's thinking it's too hard. What is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun?
Oh dear.
Yes, what is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun?
Oh dear, Pearson, you came to bust my brain this morning.
Because I thought you could handle it.
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
You want a hit?
Sure.
Would you like a hit? No. I shall not indeed.
Let's see. Stronger than steel. Ice?
I beg your pardon?
Ice?
Let's actually what nonsense you're talking about this Friday morning. Ice.
Ice.
What is stronger than steel but can't handle the sun? You think it's ice?
Yeah.
What makes you think that ice is stronger than steel?
Well, if I think about the North Pole, it is strong.
Well, Sasha, it's a good thing I'm going to say goodbye to you. You're absolutely right. She's right. Ice. Ice, of all things on God's earth. Ice is the answer. Well done to you, Adi. But thank you so very much, Lasasha, for playing along with me too.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, that's it for today. We've had a laugh. We've had a good time today. It's an extended weekend. We hope you have a safe weekend as you do so as well. As you get about, remember always to be your best selves. Tell someone else about the show as well, and come back and join us on Tuesday morning when we're back. Until then, you take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.